Hello students, I am Rajesh Kumar Singh from Divine Public School, Monapur, Gorakhpur. Let's proceed on the next chapter of the Snapshots Mother's Day by J.B. Priestley. Students, let's proceed on next video of Snapshots of Mother's Day by J.B. Priestley. As we have seen the introduction as well as summary of the lesson, now I am going to start the paragraphs of this chapter. Paragraph first, let's see its reading. Mrs. Fitzgerald collecting up the cards, and that's all I can tell you. Mrs. Pearson, could be a good fortune, could be a bad one. All depends on yourself now. Make up your mind, and there it is. Mrs. Pearson, yes, thank you, Mrs. Fitzgerald. I am much obliged. I am sure. It's wonderful having a real fortune teller living next door. Did you learn that out east too? Mrs. Fitzgerald, I did. 12 years I had of it, with my old man rising to be lieutenant quartermaster. He learnt a lot, and I learnt a lot more. But will you make up your mind now, Mrs. Pearson dear? Put your foot down once and for all, and be the mistress of your own house and the boss of your own family. Students, before the explanation of this paragraph, let's see some words related to it as lieutenant, written as lieutenant. The commander of a troop in army is called lieutenant, written as lieutenant. See some more words related to this paragraph as obliged. As while writing application, you often write that sir, madam, if you take favor, then I shall be highly obliged to you. Means the word of thankfulness. It is. But see its meaning according to its use as to make it necessary for someone to do something. When you make someone to do something, when it becomes necessary, then you oblige it. For see this word as in sentence, as a result of falling profits during the corona period, the factory owners were obliged to close the factory. Means now I hope you understand the meaning. Due to falling down of profits, the factory owners were obliged to close the factory. Means to do something that someone has asked you to do. Okay, in these conditions we use the word obliged as, would you oblige me by taking this letter to the director? Would you oblige me by taking this letter to the director? Okay, these are the proper use of the words obliged. Now see the explanation of this paragraph. Mrs. Fitzgerald, as I have told you, a friend of Mrs. Pearson who lives in her neighborhood. Mrs. Fitzgerald, the neighbor of Mrs. Pearson, is seen on the stage talking on the family matter of Mrs. Pearson. Mrs. Pearson, a lady of pleasant nature, looks worried due to ignoring nature of her husband and children. Mrs. Fitzgerald, a fortune teller, as well as a friend of neighborhood of Mrs. Pearson, advises her some tricks to Mrs. Pearson to reform her family members and restore her dignity and respect over them. At first, on such suggestions, Mrs. Pearson hesitates. Then Mrs. Fitzgerald advises her that she can't do more than that. She says that she, that is Mrs. Pearson, could get good fortune if she made some effort to have it. She advises her that to be the owner of good fortune or bad fortune is not in the hand of others but is in the hand of the person himself or herself. Nobody is going to do something for them to uplift. Means for good or bad fortune of a person's, that individual himself or herself is responsible for it. Mrs. Fitzgerald wants to tell Mrs. Pearson. She says, but is in the hand of the person himself as herself. So, to achieve good or bad fortune is in the hand of yourself, Mrs. Pearson. Everything now depends on herself. She advises her to resolute in her mind to reform them, think about their reformation, observe herself all the time in it, and have the expected result. Mrs. Pearson thanks her neighborhood friend Mrs. Fitzgerald for her advice and accepts the sureness of her ideas' usefulness. She says that having a real fortune teller living next to door in neighborhood is a wonderful. She asks her whether she learned it in the countries of the East too. Mrs. Fitzgerald accepts, yes, I did. That she learned this efficiency of fortune telling in the East, that is, in the countries of East 12 years ago, when her old man, that is, husband, got promotion to the post of a lieutenant quartermaster. While living there in his company, she learned a lot of other things too. But she further asked Mrs. Pearson lovingly whether she would make up in her mind. Then she advises Mrs. Pearson to put her foot down firmly on this decision once and have its positive result forever by becoming the owner of her own house and the boss of her own family. Let's see its reading. Mrs. Pearson, smiling apologetically, that's easier said than done. Besides, I am besides I am so fond of them even if they are so thoughtless and selfish. They don't mean to be. Mrs. Fitzgerald, cutting in. Maybe not, but it would be better for them if they learn to treat you properly. Mrs. Pearson, yes, I suppose it would, in a way. Mrs. Fitzgerald, No doubt about it at all. Who is the better for being spoiled? Grown man, lad, or girl? Nobody. You think it does them good when you run after them all the time? Take their orders as if you were the servant in the house. Stay at home every night while they go out evening themselves enjoying while they go out enjoying themselves. I'm sorry. Never in all your life. It's the ruin of them as well as you. Husbands, sons, daughters should be taking notice of wives and mothers, not giving them orders and treating them like dirt. And don't tell me you don't know what I mean, for I know more than you have told me. Mrs. Pearson deviously. I keep dropping a hint. Mrs. Pearson, hint? It's more than hints. Your family needs. Mrs. Pearson, it is so hard to know where to start. I keep making up my mind to have it out with them, but somehow I don't know how to begin. She glances at her watch or at a clock. Oh, good gracious! Look at the time. Nothing ready, and they will be home any minute, and probably all in a hurry to go out again. As she is about to rise, Mrs. Fitzgerald reaches out across the table and pulls her down. Students, before starting the explanation of this paragraph, I would like to draw your attention on the words written in abbreviation as does them. Does them लिखा. It is written as does and th is ellipted and written as does them, but meaning is does them. In and d is ellipted by apostrophe. Students, while reading, you must mind the pronunciations according to written. As for example, not giving M orders and no wrong. Not giving them orders. Here th is ellipted by putting an apostrophe. In the same way, and d is ellipted. Students, understand my notions, my motives, what I want to tell you. Means and is pronunciated by the speaker while the by the foreigners when you make conversations they hardly pronunciate the word and. They say and. Them m, they pronunciate it m. Giving m means giving them. Okay, now let's proceed on the paragraph. Its words related to this paragraph. Here word apologetically. The word root word apologetic or apology. Apologetic is made by the root word apologic. It's an adjective, means showing or saying that you are sorry that something has happened. By this word, you show that you are sorry for something has happened, especially because you feel guilty or embarrassed about it. For example, the restaurant manager was very apologetic and said we could have our meal for free of cost. An apologetic letter. Next word, an apologetic letter. As I told you, this word is made of by the root word apology. And the meaning of apology means something that you say are right to show that you are sorry for doing something wrong. Let's see its use in the sentence. Your behavior was outrageous. I demand an apology. Your behavior was outrageous. I demand an apology. Next word as please accept our sincere apologies. While writing letter, please accept our sincere apologies. Next word is dub. To give something or someone a humorous name that describes their character. For example, Mrs. Thatcher was dubbed the Iron Lady. And next, to change the original spoken language of a film or a television program into another language is also called dub. It's a Swedish film dubbed into English. Now, see the explanation of this paragraph. Mrs. Pearson, wearing the expression of sorry, it says, smiling, that it is not easier to become strong and dominating towards the dear ones. It is easier only to say, not but not in practical. Besides other things, I am so fond of my family members, husband, daughter, and son, that I continue to love and like them in spite of their thoughtlessness and selfishness. They don't mean to be insult or ignore me knowingly. Mrs. Fitzgerald interferes between and says that it may be possible, but it would be better for them if they learn to treat you, Mrs. Pearson, properly. If they learn to treat you, here you stands for Mrs. Pearson, in proper way. Mrs. Pearson accepts her advice as a fact that it would be beneficial for them in some way or in other matter. Mrs. Fitzgerald interrupts and insists that there is no place or there is no reason to doubt at all. She asks her who is better for being a spoilt man or being a spoiled girl or being a spoiled lad. No, nobody can be better. Either a spoilt man or a spoiled daughter or a spoiled girl or a spoiled lad. Nobody can be better for the family, for the society, or even for the country. She again asks whether she thinks that she can have some positive reformed result by running and carrying their orders all the time and all the day as you were the servant of the house. Can you reform them by staying at home every night while they go out enjoying themselves in the hotels, clubs, and restaurants all the time, every day? It is never possible. It is never possible during the whole in her life. It's the ruin of them as well as yours, that is Pearson's, dear. It is the ruin of her husband, son, and daughter. So, husbands, sons, and daughters should be taking notice of wives and mothers, not giving them orders and treating them like dirt, that is, slaves and humble servants. She also advises her not to tell her the, that is, Mrs. Pearson, don't know what she, Mrs. Fitzgerald, mean, as she knows more than she has told her. Mrs. Pearson says, in some changed tone that she would continue to give some indication of her being strong and dominant towards them. Mrs. Fitzgerald says to Pearson that your family member needs more than hint. Hint is not enough for them. Mrs. Pearson expresses her opinion to her friend Mrs. Fitzgerald that she likes the reformation of her family, but she don't like any kind of unpleasant or nonsense statement to her family members in the name of getting reformed. She says frankly that she hates any kind of unpleasantness, and it is second problem for her that she don't know where to start the deed of reformation. She keeps making up in her mind to have have the deed start, but after some times becomes confused that how to begin. How to begin. Now Mrs. Pearson looks at the watch, that is clock, and exclaims that it is too much time and she is there talking. She says to her friend that nothing is ready up to that time, and they, that is her husband, son and daughter, may come home at any minute, and perhaps they all may be in a hurry to go out again. Saying this, Mrs. Pearson tries to rise from her seat. Mrs. Fitzgerald reaches across the table and pulls her down again to her seat.